Over the river and through the woods, to grandmother's house we go. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh through the white and drifted snow. These are this is my series of 4 December dailies. You could call them Christmas journals, holiday journals, winter journals. Each of them has a patch on the front of vintage thrifted fabric, and the cover image flips up. Each has a couple of winter themed vocabulary cards. Each has a Polar Express story book page. I'll talk through this one and then I'll speed through the remaining 3. So they're just some beautiful vintage, thrifted, winter themed pages. So some are food related, some are Christmas story, some are nativity scene. Here I'm showing you an oversized gold paperclip that's been altered with vintage thrifted fabric. And I'm showing you a vellum pocket and some vintage ledger paper. That's obviously scrapbook paper, beautiful red plaid. That's plain. I'm not sure if that's drawing or watercolor paper with a pocket sewn with red thread. There was a Santa Claus image and graph paper, and here's the nativity scene. And then here's the back half of that signature. So the scrapbook paper, the vintage ledger paper, the stained glass nativity scene, the oil painting nativity scene. Here I'm showing that this is embossed. I don't know how well that shows up on camera, but it's embossed. Some pattern paper with a pocket sewn with red thread, more graph paper, more vintage music paper, beautiful winter holiday themed magazine page. Yeah, so we're just looking at the back half of the signature. More sewing pattern paper, more embossed drawing paper. There's a workbook, children's workbook page. Here's some vintage thrifted stationery. I scored a bunch of it, so a lot of my journals have that. They often have that stationery in some way, shape, or form. Some more beautiful images from the 80s, holiday themed spreads. Another tuck spot and vintage children's workbook page, the tuck spot and that scrapbook paper. This is a really thick drawing paper, and here I'm showing you this adorable little pine cone that's attached with the grommet. Some vintage real estate, a vintage real estate page, some notebook paper, some vintage thrifted children's workbook with their coloring. I think it's so cool that gets a second life. Another vocab card and beautiful magazine page with colorful candles, Christmas candles. Tuck spot. And here I'm just showing you that it's lightly embossed. All of the covers are lightly embossed. So here I'm rapidly flipping through the remaining 3. So you'll see they're similar. They're not exactly the same, but there's the 80s Christmas sort of artifacts pages. There's the Polar Express. There's the sewing pattern paper. the vintage fabric on the front. This one's kind of the grungy one of the bunch. And this is the one where I think I forgot to sew. I made the pockets, the folds for the pockets, but then forgot to sew them. Hello, perimenopause. So if you want to be nonconformist, this is the journal in the series for you. Showing you that embossing again. And here's the last one. Same themes, similar but not exactly the same, but a lot of nativity scenes, the vocab cards, some images of Santa Claus, sewing pattern paper, children's coloring, and there you